public safety and security, social services, and environmental conservation. This part of the theme reacts to the concerns by the residents, and we have responded by allocating efficiently to address the priority areas. Building a sustainable green future. This signifies a holistic approach to development that considers the needs of both present and future generations. It emphasizes the need for a balanced and integrated approach that addresses service delivery, environmental, social, and economic issues that affect the residents and the stakeholders. On sustainability, this relates to providing essential services to the residents and stakeholders in a way that is environmentally responsible, socially inclusive, and economically viable. Resource efficiency. Managing the consumption of natural resources like water and energy. Water reduction. Implementing effective waste management and recycling programs. On green infrastructure, investing in green spaces and parks to improve air quality and biodiversity. On climate change adaptation, developing strategies to mitigate the impacts of climate change. Renewable energy, that is solar. One key anchor item on this theme is the prioritization of investment in renewable sources of energy to hedge against the rising cost of power and reducing grid dependence. Your Worship, electricity bills have remained a major cost driver in our service delivery operations. So by generating a portion of our own electricity requirements, we can decrease our reliance on the grid, potentially leading to lower utility bills. Your Worship, I move this motion in line with Section 276 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, number 20 of 2013, that gives local authorities the power to levy rates and taxes to raise sufficient revenue for them to carry out their mandate and responsibilities. Section 47 of the Public Finance Management Act requires that Council submits to the Minister of Local Government and Public Works a budget of estimated revenue and expenditure for the 2025 financial year and the related annual strategic plan for approval. The Council-approved budget shall be submitted to the Minister through the Accounting Officer, who makes recommendations to the Minister with regards to the approval or amendment of the budget. In line with this Act of Parliament, the 2025 budget neither has accumulated surplus nor deficit. Furthermore, Section 288 of the Urban Councils Act supports the constitutional provision by demanding that each year, every committee shall prepare detailed estimates of the income and expenditure on revenue and capital accounts of that committee for the ensuing financial year and submits the estimates to the Finance and Development Committee. Your Worship, the budget is program-based and the estimates are based on the following: governance and administration, water, sanitation and hygiene, social services, roads, public safety and security, natural resources and environmental conservation. I hereby present and lay a consolidation of these submissions before Council. Your Worship, according to the 2025 budget strategy paper issued by the Ministry of Finance, Economic and Development and Investment Promotion in July 2024, the global economy remains remarkably resilient, with growth holding steady as global inflation continues its downward trend. Global growth is estimated at 3.2% during the last half of 2024 and is expected to continue at the same trajectory into 2025, according to the April 2024 International Monetary Fund World Economic Outlook projections. The same paper notes that in sub-Saharan Africa, growth is projected to increase to 4% in 2025 from 3.8% in 2024, as the negative effects of earlier weather shocks subside and supply-side fundamentals gradually improve. Your Worship, focusing on Zimbabwe, according to recent reports in the outlook, the economy is projected to grow by 2%, 6.5%, 5.1%, and 5.2% in 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027, respectively. Growth in 2025 is expected to benefit from the recovery in agriculture attributable to the expected normal to above normal rainfall season, as well as increased activities in the manufacturing sector. We pray for the growth of the economy. A robust economy can significantly benefit the city of Harare in increased revenue through property tax and disposable incomes, which allow ratepayers to honor their obligations. The growth of the economy also remains that more business will be operating, translating to more revenue from business licenses, permits, and fees. This will give Council the fiscal space to enhance sustainable service delivery. On exchange rates, Your Worship, our economy experienced significant changes in the monetary system during this current financial year. The 2024 budget fundamentals changed during the first quarter of 2024. Starting the year at a US dollar to Zimbabwe dollar exchange rate of 1:6, 6.192, the exchange rate moved to 1:14.912 by the end of February, and a high of 1:30.674 by the 5th of April 2024. During the period January to March 2024, the inflation rate rose from 34.8% to 55.3%, indicating a hyperinflationary environment which, to its credit, the government had worked to contain over the previous year. On the 8th of April 2024, the central bank introduced the Zimbabwe Gold, ZiG, as the new currency replacing the Zimbabwe dollar. The new currency brought with it genuine hopes of more sustained stability and hence positive economic growth. Starting off at an exchange rate of US dollar to ZiG 1:13.5616, the move by the central bank was indeed a ray of hope. Your Worship, Council, like most of other economic agents, experienced an initial slowdown in business as the financial systems were adapting to the new currency on the market. We registered a revenue collection efficiency as low as 30% in April 2024. Gradual improvement with notable stability was experienced in terms of both inflation and exchange rates, to the point of registering negative month-on-month inflation figures in June 2024. However, in September 2024, the monetary authorities officially adjusted the ZiG by 42.5% against the US dollar. Whilst this was a move to liberalize the exchange rate regime, the move negatively impacted cash inflows as ratepayers adopted a wait-and-see attitude. Furthermore, this eroded the value of our receivables. On inflation, according to Zimstat, the month-on-month inflation rate was 5.8% in September 2024, gaining 4.4 percentage points on the August 2024 rate of 1.4%. The year-on-year inflation rate for September 2024, as measured by all items, was USD Consumer Price Index was 4.2%. This negatively impacted our operations by eroding the purchasing power, which hampered our ability to deliver quality services. Your Worship, We pray that the measures being implemented by the government will be fruitful to maintain currency stability. On local government sector, Your Worship, as we seek to enhance service delivery and build a sustainable green future together, we need to take note of the following local government sector issues. 1, roads. Roads funding. Government through Zinara took over the vehicle licensing portfolio whose revenues were dedicated towards the roads program in terms of rehabilitation, maintenance, and construction of new roads. The city now depends on Zinara disbursements. Expectations are that because of the high vehicle population, City of Harare was supposed to get a larger portion proportionate to the vehicle licensing revenue collected. Road construction, maintenance, and rehabilitation without adequate funding creates a financial burden on the city. There is need for government to relook at the arrangement with Zinara because it is our considered view that the arrangement is not producing optimum results, thereby affecting critical operations in the roads program. On infrastructure deficiencies, the city of Harare has old infrastructure, such as water and sewer systems, that require significant investment to rehabilitate. The city used to benefit from World Bank-funded projects under Urban 1 and Urban 2. The focus was on improving basic infrastructure and services in Harare. World Bank pulled out from funding of the construction of major water projects and sewer reticulation programs, and the projects which are capital intensive cannot be funded from our own resources. This challenge continues to haunt the city because the infrastructure is not matching the growth in the population. There is therefore need for the reintroduction of the Public Sector Investment Program, PSIP, and other special grants for infrastructure development projects. On lack of resources, Harare lacks the resources to maintain and upgrade existing infrastructure, leading to deterioration and service disruptions. The repairs and maintenance budget is less than 15% of the total, and the cash flows hinder the implementation of programmed maintenance. The lack of resources is exacerbated by the unwillingness of customers to pay. Measures to enforce payment are being instituted, but the collection efficiency remains below the optimum levels. Limited capacity. The city has insufficient plant and equipment to deliver essential services such as water, sanitation, and waste management. For the city to operate efficiently in the waste management sector, 51 refuse compactors are required, 45 to serve the 45 wards, 6 to act as buffer to repairs and maintenance. On rapid urbanization, City of Harare has been experiencing rapid growth, replacing a strain on existing infrastructure and services. Local authorities abutting the city have been developing from the boundaries. This has put pressure on Harare in terms of provision of water and other services. On informal settlements, the growth of informal settlements presents significant challenges for the city of Harare in terms of providing basic services and managing urban developments. On costs, cost of water treatment chemicals and power remains high. Electricity costs for water treatment plant and public lighting average around 45 million ZiG per month. On water treatment chemicals, Your Worship, the prices of water treatment chemicals continue to be denominated in US dollars, whilst the city is charging for water services in the local currency. The currency discrepancies mean that we continue to be overburdened by the continuous soaring of prices of the water treatment chemicals. on shortage of plant and equipment. City operations are resource hungry, and most of the plant and equipment were provided for under devolution funds in 2024. However, the city is procuring using own resources as alternative funding is not coming through. On procurement processes, bureaucratic procurement processes have also hindered service delivery in Harare. There is need to relook at the stringent procurement laws which inhibit timeous delivery of service. On climate change, extreme weather events, increased frequency and intensity of droughts and floods are straining infrastructure and resources. Droughts have affected the ability of the city to provide water to residents, and for the past years, the city had to decommission Prince Edward Waterworks due to low water levels at Seke and Harare dams. On current issues, the introduction of the ZIG currency brought currency stability from April 2024, and planning was possible. The recent movement in the local currency in September 2024 posed a major challenge as the city bills its services in ZIG and residents delayed payment in anticipation of exchange rate loss. The value of the ZIG is on a downward trajectory, and the city does not have a solid foreign currency base. On drugs and substance abuse, following the launch of the multi-sectoral action plan on drug and substance abuse by His Excellency, the President, the city has responded to the prevalent drug menace. To that effect, a budgetary allocation has been made to respond to the pandemic, prioritizing its expenditure against other competing needs. The city is now being mandated to establish rehabilitation centers for drug addicts, hence the establishment of Tendai Rehabilitation Center at Beatrice Infectious Disease Hospital. On debtors, Your Worship, debtors stood at 2.747 billion ZIG as at 30 September 2024 from the 31st August 2024 position of 2.550 billion ZIG. Debtors increased by 9.95% from previous month position growth. The debt configuration is as follows: commerce and industry 66.13%, domestic 26.63%, government 3.09%, and dormitory towns 3.91%. Below are some of the interventions that the city of Harare is implementing to arrest the growing debtors book and improve on revenue collection. Implementation of the new ERP to enhance bill accuracy and resultantly bill acceptance and payment. Extensive data cleanup to reduce errors. Litigation through financial demands, summons and warrants. Blacklisting of delinquent clients. Integration of new payment platforms to increase ratepayer payment convenience. Review of standard operating procedures to tighten controls and thereby eliminate or reduce leakages. Prioritization of revenue collection resourcing. Prioritizing service delivery expenditure in order to encourage payment compliance. Decisively dealing with corruption through reporting cases and creating of a whistleblowers framework. In addition to the above, the city intends to implement citywide 40-meter replacement through tenders and self-replacement by ratepayers. Your Worship, Council is in the process of resolving the ERP issue to bring about a system that will enhance performance. After more than 4 attempts to procure an ERP, we made a decision to re-engage the previous service provider, but this hit a snag because we had to seek condonation from the Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe. Our request for condonation was not acceded to, and we were advised to approach the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works for assistance in sensitive procurement. We indeed sought assistance from the ministry, and we managed to get the authority to engage Q Associates for 12 months as we procure an ERP system. We hope that this will give us adequate time to go through the procurement processes. This remains urgent, and the city has allocated adequate resources for the procurement of the ERP. On creditors, Your Worship, creditors stood at 716 million ZiG as at 30 September 2024, excluding leave pay obligations from the January 2024 position of 109 million ZiG. Council creditors continues to rise as we face cash flow constraints. Electricity charges constitute 35% of the total creditors. Furthermore, Council has an outstanding obligation of $68.583 million loan facility from the China Exim Bank for Morton Jeffrey Water Treatment Plant Rehabilitation Project. On audits, Your Worship, the city was last audited for 2020 financial statements. The 2021 financial statements are currently under audit, and the 2022 and 2023 drafts are ready for audit, awaiting finalization of prior audits. We target to be up to date with audits by the first half of 2025. On procurement, Your Worship, the issues of procurement have negatively affected our operations. The following are worth to note: inefficient bureaucracy. The bureaucracy surrounding public procurement is very slow and inefficient, which delays projects and make it difficult for the city to get the goods and services needed for service delivery. On higher procurement costs, forward pricing is another key issue, as this inflates the cost of goods and services, leading to increased cost for the city. This limits our budget for essential services like infrastructure development, waste management, and social services programs. Local economic and operational environment. Your Worship, the small to medium enterprise sector in Harare SMEs contributes significantly to economic growth. The recent fire outbreak, which affected more than 4,000 traders, was a wake-up call for Council to invest more in infrastructural development so that the traders are able to operate in a stable environment. If the SMEs are organized, the city can be able to get return on investment. Your Worship, we reviewed 4 bylaws in 2024. These are the Harare Cemeteries and Crematorium bylaws, anti-litter bylaws, water bylaws, and the licensed premises bylaws. These bylaws will enhance the regulation of activities and give us the legal basis to collect additional revenue to fund service delivery. Your Worship, the review of the master plan started in 2024 and is expected to be completed in line with the deadlines set by the government. The master plan serves as a comprehensive blueprint for the future development of our city. It outlines a long-term vision, guiding decisions on land use, infrastructure, transportation, housing, and economic development. The full implementation of the master plan will guide our development trajectory going forward. On investment opportunities, Your Worship, public-private partnerships have emerged as a powerful tool for local authorities to accelerate development, improve service delivery, and stimulate economic growth. By combining the strengths of both the public and private sectors, PPPs can address challenges that may be difficult for either sector to tackle alone. In view of the above, the following projects will be funded under the PPP model in 2025. Waste transfer stations, 3 valued at $150,000, and 1 material recovery center valued at $50,000. One of the signature projects for the 2025 financial year is the Harare 50 megawatt solar plants. The project involves the establishment of the 50 megawatt solar plant at the council-owned farm in Krobra at a total cost of $50 million. In 2025, $5 million injection has been proposed. The solar plant will generate electricity to power the city water and sewer treatment plants, with any excess energy being supplied to the national grid under net metering arrangements. This project is very important for the city because it will reduce operational costs significantly and also reduce our dependence of the national grid. Furthermore, the project is poised to assisting the city in reducing the carbon footprint and ensure environmental sustainability. Sustainability is the cornerstone of modern urban planning. The solar farm project aligns with sustainable development goals by promoting the use of renewable resources. It ensures that Harare's growth is environmentally responsible and that natural resources are preserved for future generations. Building a 50 megawatt solar energy farm is not just about generating electricity. It is about creating a sustainable, economically viable, and environmentally friendly future for Harare. The project promises significant cost savings, enhanced energy security, environmental benefits, and economic growth. It positions Harare as a leader in renewable energy in Africa, setting a benchmark for other cities to follow. By investing in solar energy, Harare is lighting the path to a brighter and greener future. On review of the 2024 budget, Your Worship, budget performance over the period January to September 2024 was mainly affected by the late budget approval due to a number of issues which are being addressed progressively. The 2024 budget was approved in July 2024. Throughout the first and second quarter, activity was mainly concentrated on priority expenditure in line with the need to conform to provisions of the law given the budget status. Your Worship, total revenue for 1 January to 30 September amounted to 2.2 billion against a billing of 5.064 billion ZiG. Revenue collection was subdued in the first and second quarter with average collection efficiency of 35%. The third quarter witnessed significant improvement. Yes.
To disrupt your flow.
Okay.
I'm just Chairperson. I'm just going to the ministry to address a press conference. So the Deputy Mayor will remain
No, it's okay.
to take charge of the proceedings.
Thank you.
If I am done,
Go back.
I will take short.
No problem. Okay, thank you. Your Worship, on total revenues for January 1 to 30 September amounted to 2 billion against a billing of 5.064 billion ZiG. Revenue collection was subdued in the first and second quarter with average collection efficiency of 35%. The third quarter witnessed a significant improvement to 52% comparative to average 35% obtaining in the previous quarters. With constrained cash flows to fund both recurrent and capital expenditure, the result was that capital expenditure was substantively subdued, with the city expending 10% of its targeted expenditure for the period under review. Hamstrung by cash flows, there was a significant growth in creditors as the city struggled to pay for immediate recurrent expenditure, mainly water, chemicals, and power. Debtors also grew significantly, exacerbated by the recent exchange rate upsurge in September. On expenditures, Your Worship, total expenditure for the same period amounted to 2.342 billion ZiG against a proportionate budget of 5.884 billion. Analysis of expenses indicate that compensation of employees, goods and services continued to be major cost drivers to the total expenditure. Compensation of employees remained pegged in US dollars and paid at the ruling ZiG interbank rate. Expenditure on water, chemicals, and electricity remain key drivers to goods and services expenditure. There was marginal capital expenditure from own revenues totaling 40.521 million ZiG. The major capital expenditure was on plant and equipment. These included 5 refuse compactors, 3 hook loaders, and 3 by 20 cubic meter bins for the high traffic areas. On devolution, Your Worship, devolution funds amounting to 1.218 million ZiG, translating to 1.91% of the budgetary provision of 63.50 million ZiG, were deposited into our accounts and utilized for the rehabilitation of Morton Jeffrey water treatment plant filters. We continue to implore government to disburse the allocated funds on time. Your Worship, during the period under review, the city received 3.439 million ZiG equivalent from January to March for road routine maintenance and 89.050 million ZiG from April to September, which was utilized for the reconstruction of Dzivaresekwa Road, 5.1 kilometers of road length, and the reconstruction of 3.4 kilometers, 4th Avenue, Warren Park Road. The city also received 50,000 liters worth of diesel coupons with a market value of $75,000 US dollars. This was utilized for routine maintenance across the city. Our argument remains the same. It is our considered view that the city is not getting the right allocation from Zinara, considering that Harare is the highest vehicle population. The state of our roads is a clear testimony that the current arrangement is not working. The authorities must therefore review the formula as a matter of urgency. The city received 1.026 million US dollars from City Parking Private Limited. The USD remittances were mainly utilized to fund the purchase of plant and machinery, whilst ZiG remittances of 12.993 million ZiG were used to fund procurement of raw materials for road repairs and the maintenance of plant and machinery. Your Worship, recapitalization initiatives are essential for the city to fulfill its mandate of providing quality services, promoting economic development, and ensuring the well-being of our communities. To that effect, using our own revenues, we procured plant and equipment and other assets at a total cost of 40.521 million ZiG. We managed to procure and fund the following projects in 2024 financial year: rehabilitation of Morton Jeffrey clarifiers, ICT equipment, rehabilitation of Rufaro Stadium, purchase of 6 tractors for grass cutting, refurbishment of Heathcliff Polyclinic, construction of Mabvuku administration block, office furniture and equipment, refuse compactors 5, hook loaders 3, tractor trailers 6, Chitubu clinic construction, land improvements, water pipe replacements, plant and equipment, and network upgrade to a total tune of 40.521 million ZiG. Your Worship, in the year 2024, in addition to the recapitalization drive, we also embarked on various projects in the year. In the year 2024, in addition to the recapitalization drive, we also embarked on various projects in the water and wastewater sector in an effort to enhance service delivery. Your Worship, the 2025 budget was guided by the call to action by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. The city of Harare has been actively integrating the call to action into its budget, particularly in response to the directives outlined in the blueprint. This integration aims to improve service delivery and align with the national vision of becoming an upper middle income economy by 2030. Key interventions under the call to action include ERP system adoption to improve financial management and reduce revenue leakage, prioritization of service delivery, infrastructure development. The budget allocates funds for the rehabilitation of roads, water and sanitation systems, and other critical infrastructure and social services, which entails increased funding towards social services. The budget prioritizes waste management solutions to address the city's waste challenges. Your Worship, the budget is also informed by the City of Harare strategic plan, which is aligned to the national priorities and the wishes and aspirations of the residents of Harare. Recognizing Harare's pivotal role in boosting the national gross domestic product, we aimed to decentralize service delivery operations, ensuring residents receive adequate service directly from the districts. This strategy is critical as we seek to enhance the city's efficiency and responsiveness. The 2025 budget and the accompanying capital development plan are structured to support a robust capitalization drive, ensuring that all districts are capacitated with the necessary plant and equipment essential for efficient service delivery. A regional plant and equipment allocation plan has been put in place to guide implementation once the operational assets have been procured. This budget is not just a financial document. It is a responsive and adaptive blueprint that has taken into account the diverse concerns and inputs raised by stakeholders through an extensive consultative process which cut across all sectors, operationally and demographically.
I just want to remind councillors to stay seated because the moment one councillor leaves the chamber, our quorum will not balance. So can we kindly remain seated? You can proceed. Thank you, Chair.
Water and sanitation are fundamental human rights and essential services that underpin the health and well-being of our citizens. Thus, a significant portion of the budget is dedicated to upgrading and expanding the city's water supply systems, ensuring access to potable water. In parallel, we are committed to enhancing our sanitation infrastructure to prevent disease and promote public health. Your Worship, infrastructural development is a cornerstone for the growth and prosperity of the city of Harare. It serves as the backbone of the community, facilitating economic activity, improving quality of life, and enhancing overall sustainability. Our budget prioritizes the rehabilitation and maintenance of roads to facilitate mobility and economic activities. A well-connected Harare is not only a convenience for its residents, but also an attractive destination for business and investors. However, Funding constraints has been a major impediment to roads infrastructure development. Social services are crucial for nurturing a resilient and inclusive community. The budget allocates resources for the construction of new primary school in high-density areas of Kwadzana 10 and extension of Budiriro 7. This is aimed at improving educational services coverage. Additionally, the budget supports the ongoing street lighting project, which aims to illuminate our streets, thereby enhancing public safety and reducing the risk of crime, particularly against women and girls. Public safety and security are fundamental to the overall well-being and prosperity of our community. The city plays a crucial role in ensuring the safety and security of residents by investing in effective law enforcement, public lighting, and emergency response initiatives. The budget includes provision for upgrading our law enforcement capabilities, enhancing community policing, and investing in modern technology in the form of CCTVs to deter crime. We are committed to creating a safe environment where residents can live, work, and thrive without fear. Your Worship, the protection of our environment is not just an obligation, but a necessity for sustainable development. The budget incorporates various green initiatives, including the promotion of renewable energy, waste management programs, and tree planting campaigns. These efforts are aimed at mitigating the adverse effects of climate change and preserving our natural heritage for future generations. Fairness in tariffs charged by the City of Harare is a vital issue raised by stakeholders. We have reviewed and adjusted our tariff structure to ensure that they are equitable and reflect the true cost of services. This approach ensures that residents receive value for their money while maintaining the city's financial sustainability. While addressing these stakeholders' concerns, the 2025 budget also adopts an outward-looking perspective. It is designed to facilitate economic growth and development, serving as a catalyst for national economic transformation. The budget is not just about addressing immediate needs, but also about laying the groundwork for a prosperous and sustainable future. Harare's role as the gateway to Zimbabwe cannot be overstated. The city's strategic importance is reflected in our commitment to creating a city that is functional, attractive to investors, supportive of small to medium enterprises, transparent in its governance, and resilient in the face of climate change-induced challenges. Through the 2025 budget, we envision a city that has full functionality across all service delivery facets, paving the way towards becoming a smart and sustainable city. This involves leveraging technology to enhance efficiency, reduce costs, and improve the quality of services provided to residents. We aim to create an environment where innovation thrives and public services are seamlessly integrated into the daily lives of our citizens. Furthermore, the budget seeks to make Harare an attractive destination for investors by showcasing the vast business opportunities available. We recognize the importance of creating a conducive environment for investment, which includes modern infrastructure, efficient service delivery, and a stable regulatory framework. The role of SMEs in our economy cannot be understated. They are the engines of growth and job creation. Therefore, the budget prioritizes the creation of the requisite infrastructure and regulatory environment to enable smooth and orderly operations of this sector. By supporting SMEs, we are directly contributing to the national GDP and fostering a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. Good governance is at the heart of our mode of operations as Harare. The budget includes measures to align our governance structures with international best practices, promoting transparency, accountability, and public participation. We believe that a well-governed city is a prosperous city, and we are committed to building trust with our residents through open and accountable administration. Climate change is a reality that we cannot ignore. The 2025 budget includes projects aimed at mitigating the impacts of climate change, such as flood control measures, green energy initiatives, and community-based environmental programs. We are dedicated to building a resilient city that can adapt to and thrive despite environmental challenges. Gender equality is a fundamental principle that guides our budgetary process. Through gender mainstreaming, we ensure that the needs and perspectives of men, women, youth, and persons with disability are considered in all aspects of our planning and implementation. This approach is reflected in our investment in social services, infrastructure, and public safety, which aim to create an inclusive and equitable city for all. In conclusion, the 2025 budget is a comprehensive and forward-looking plan that addresses the immediate needs of our residents while laying the foundation for a prosperous and sustainable future. It is a budget that responds to the voices of our stakeholders, promotes economic growth, and commits to governance and environmental stewardship. Through the budget, we are building a Harare that is not only the gateway to Zimbabwe, but also a beacon of progress and innovation. Your Worship, the budget is our tool for turning aspirations into reality. And in 2025, we are fully embracing gender-responsive budgeting to fast-track gender mainstreaming. This effort will push us closer to achieving the national goal of inclusive socio-economic growth, gender equality, and women empowerment, all while supporting the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Your Worship, to effectively integrate gender considerations into our budget, we have conducted comprehensive capacity building trainings across all levels. We have also fortified our administrative measures by updating the gender policy, ensuring our policies and laws are gender sensitive and impactful. This strategy has resulted in gender mainstreaming permeating the entire budget process, particularly emphasizing gender-responsive service delivery. Thus, to that effect, the 2025 budget focuses heavily on the water, sanitation, and hygiene sector and alleviate perennial issues bedeviling the sector. The social services budget underscores gender mainstreaming by planning the construction and extension of primary schools in 2 high-density areas of Harare, KwaZulu-Natal, and Budiriro 7, respectively. In Warren Park, we have made a provision to construct an early childhood development center. We have plans of rehabilitating Mbare Vocational Training Center, which will take in women who desire to break the ceiling and undertake training in male-dominated industry of plumbing and carpentry. Additionally, our ongoing street lighting project will continue providing safer, well-lit streets and reducing the risk of violence against women and girls. Your Worship, in order to expand maternity services to better serve our women, in 2023, in 2025, we celebrated the groundbreaking ceremony for Maubra Clinic, and in 2024, construction commenced. The project has been stalled by funding constraints and will be carried forward to 2025. This much-awaited facility, which is expected to be commissioned in 2025, will address some health service delivery inequalities in Maubra. Your Worship, fellow councillors, it is my honor and privilege to present for your approval the 2025 revenue and capital estimates. The total budget to achieve 2025 target is as follows. Capital expenditure, $137.35 million US. Recurrent expenditure, 410.860 million US dollars to bring a total of 548.195 million US dollars. The capital funding structure is as follows. Our own funding, 72.809 million US dollars. IGFT, 12.703 million US dollars. Triple Ps, 5.2 million US dollars. Loans, 21.299 million US dollars. Zinara, 23.708 million US dollars. And donations, 985,000 US dollars to bring a total of 137.335 million US dollars. Water sanitation and hygiene program, we've budgeted 195.614 million US dollars. The key outcome for this program is improved water, sanitation, and hygiene. By prioritizing WASH in our budget, we significantly improve the lives of our citizens, promote economic growth, and protect the environment. Your Worship, we intend to implement key projects that will improve service delivery in the WASH sector. We have made the following allocations in the water, sanitation, and hygiene program. Solid waste, 38.527 million US dollars. Wastewater services, 39.174 million US dollars. Water services, 117.912 million US dollars to bring a total of 195.614 million US dollars. The program will be funded as follows. IGFT, 7.625 million US dollars. Our own revenues, 169.255 million US dollars. Triple Ps, 5.2 million. Donations, 700,000. Loans, 12.835 million US dollars to bring a total of 195.614 million US dollars. On roads program, we have allocated 93.882 million US dollars. Your Worship, the strategic objective of the program is to improve the trafficability of the road network. Our desire is to rehabilitate 250 kilometers annually out of a total road network of 5,000 kilometers, has over the years been hampered by financial constraints. Adequate funding for roads programs is crucial as it directly impacts the economic, social, and environmental well-being of our community. An efficient road network stimulates economic growth, attracts investment, thereby creating a more prosperous, sustainable, and equitable future for our communities. The roads program is capital intensive, and if we were to rehabilitate the 250 kilometers annually, we would require 250 million US dollars. In addition, the city must carry out routine maintenance of 1,200 kilometers annually at an estimated cost of 60 million US dollars. For the year 2025, the city targets to rehabilitate 33.4 kilometers of roads and carry out 500 kilometers of routine maintenance with funding from Zinara. The above figures indicate a serious funding gap which must be dealt with so that we improve the state of our roads. Your Worship, the resources required for the roads program are beyond the capability of the city. We cannot raise the millions of dollars needed. Utilizing the resources from City Parking Private Limited, we are going ahead with the recapitalization drive for the roads program. In 2024, there was a proposal to merge Harare Quarry and City Park Private Limited in order to capacitate the entity to produce aggregates required by the roads program. However, the anticipated merger did not materialize. An appeal is being lodged to the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe and funding partners to collaborate with the city of Harare in the roads program. Five. Okay. The roads program will be funded as follows. Road infrastructure, 86.961 million US dollars. Traffic management, 18.437 million US dollars to bring a total of 105.399 million US dollars. Sources of funding are as highlighted below. Zinara, that's the provisional figure, 23.708 million US dollars. Our own revenues, 65.799 million US dollars. Loan, 2.874 million US dollars. IGFT, 1.5 million US dollars to bring a total of 105.399 million. On public safety and security services, we have budgeted 43.512 million US dollars. Your Worship, our emergency services require agent capacitation. Out of a requirement of 32 ambulances, only 4 are functional. To this effect, we are proposing the introduction of an emergency services and street lighting levies in the 2025 fiscal year to augment funding. Households will be charged $1 US as an emergency services levy and $1 US as a street lighting levy. An emergency services levy is a crucial financial tool which will provide a dedicated source of revenue to fund essential emergency services. In addition, a street lights levy will also provide a dedicated source of revenue to fund the installation of street lighting infrastructure. The budgetary allocation for the program will be as follows. Emergency services, 11.547 million US dollars. Municipal police, 24.375 million US dollars. Public lighting, 7.089 million US dollars to bring a total of 43.012 million US dollars. The sources of funding, our own revenues, 40.459 million US dollars. On loan, 1.783 million US dollars. Donations, 200,000 US dollars to bring a total of 43.012 million US dollars. Social services, Your Worship, were budgeted 96.308 million US dollars. The strategic objective of the program is to improve the standard of living of the communities by providing quality and adequate housing, education, health, and social amenities. To achieve the objective of this program, the following provisions have been made. Housing, 11.537 million US dollars. Education, 6.387 million US dollars. Social amenities, 8.956 million US dollars. Health, 59.281 US dollars. Informal sector, 5.569 million US dollars to bring a total of 96.308 million US dollars. The funding structure, IGFT, 2.478 million US dollars. Our own revenues, 94.779. Loans, 398,000. Donations, 85,000 US dollars. Governance and administration, we have budgeted 103.091 million US dollars. Your Worship, the governance and administration program is a cluster of departments that provide governance and administrative support in council. In essence, these are the Finance Department, Human Capital Department, the Chamber Secretary's Department, and the Town Clerk's Office. The major outcomes of this program is improved corporate governance and administration. The budget allocation for the various sub-programs within the governance program were made as follows. Council, 9.316 million US dollars. CEO, 16.871 million US dollars. Human resources, 11.961 million US dollars. Finance, 17.165 million US dollars. Technical services, 49.809 million US dollars, to bring a total of 105.124 million US dollars. The funding structure is our own revenues, 100.556 million US dollars from our own revenues. Intergovernmental fiscal transfers, 1.1 million US dollars. Loans, 3.408 million US dollars. Your Worship, on natural resources conservation and management, we have budgeted 1.302 million US dollars. The strategic objective of the program is to promote conservation of natural resources for sustainable development within the community. Your Worship, the following external and internal revenues will accrue to the city as follows. Intergovernmental fiscal transfers, that's the capital grant, 12.703 million US dollars. Loans, 21.929 million US dollars. Zinara, 23.708. Triple Ps, 5.2 million. Donations, 985,000. Health grant, 737.447 US dollars. Internal revenues, our own revenues, we expect 482.332 million US dollars. Your Worship, to raise the proposed funds of 482.332 million US dollars, I propose the following key tariffs. Water charges, water domestic, that's residential low density, from 0 to 5 cubic meters, the existing was $1.70. The proposed is $1.70. On domestic water from 5 to 10 cubic meters, the existing is $2.10. For the 2025, we propose that it be $2.31. For residential high density, from 0 to 5 cubic meters, $1.24, that's the existing. We propose for 2025 the same amount, $1.24. From 5 to 10 cubic meters, the current is $1.74. We propose that it be $2.09. On water charges for commercial, from 0 to 100 cubic meters, the existing is $120. We propose for the 2025 to charge $50 US dollars. From 100 to 200 cubic meters, the current $150 to $75. From 200 to 300 cubic meters, the current is $300. We propose $150. On consumption, from 0 to 100 cubic meters, the current is $2.20. We propose that it remain the same at $2.20. For bulky water meter above 100 cubic meters, it is $1.95. We propose that it be $2.34. For sewer charges, residential high density areas, for residential high density, the existing is $6.12. We propose the same amount for 2025, $6.12. For residential low density, the current is $8.50. We propose that it be at $9. Commercial per fitment, the existing is $3.51. We propose that it be $10. On refuse collection, domestic once a week per collection area, Residential high density, the current is $8. We propose that it be $9 for 2025. Residential low density, the current is $11. We propose that it be $13 for 2025. Refuse collection for commercial 1 to 7 times a week. Commercial areas existing for 2024 is $22 to $39. We propose that it be $30 to $44. For industrial, current is $22 to $39. We propose that for 2025 it be $30 to $44. On business licenses, Your Worship, the shop license below 50 square meters, the current is $600. We propose that it be $400 in 2025. For shop license 50 square meters to 100 square meters, the current is $600. We propose that it remain at $600. For above 100 square meters, the current is $600. We propose that it be $800 US. For hairdressers class A, the current is $460. We propose that it be at $400 in 2025. For hairdressers class B shop, the current is $345. We propose that it be at $300. The full tariff schedule will be available for inspection during the public deposit period. Your Worship, the $482.332 million US has been disaggregated into the following income streams. Refuse collection, we expect $30.967 million US. Wastewater, $26.164 million US. Property tax, $209.336 million US. Cemetery fees, $1.349 million US. Water services, $112.122 million US. Business licenses, $9.035 million US. Municipal police services, $2 million. Housing, $8.264 million. City parking, $3.6 million. Estates, $22.031 million US. Welfare, $1.429 million US. Building inspectorate, $19.754 million US. Emergency services, $2.650 million US. Endowment fees, $5 million US. Education fees, $2.697 million US. Hospital and clinic fees, $2.962 million US. Rank entry fees, $5 million. Town planning fees, $1.515 million US. SMEs, $2.840, and others, $36.098 million US. Your Worship, I now turn to the projected expenditures and revenues for various programs. WASH. The WASH program is cornerstone of service delivery. It has projected expenditure of $195.614 million and will fund its activities through cost recovery tariffs after taking into consideration funding from devolution, loans, and other sources. The WASH program is expected to realize internal revenues amounting to $169.254 million US to support its functions. The resultant tariffs are cost recovery with basic water consumption level 0 to 5 cubic meters with no increases and marginal increases of at most 10% in subsequent user bans for water. Your Worship, the roads program has a total expenditure of $105.399 million US. The revenue for this program will be drawn from city parking remittances of $3.6 million, bus terminal fee $2.33 million, parking fees $7.4 million, road design and approval fees $4.937 million, and Zinara fees amounting to $21.299 million. The deficit will be covered by property tax. Your Worship, the social services with total expenditure of $97.742 million US is expected to generate on revenue of 57.062 million. Business licenses targeted to realize 9.035 million. Health user fees is projected to rake in 2.96 million. Housing 8.264 million. Education 2.697 million. And small to medium enterprises 2.84 million US dollars. The shortfall from the program is offset by property tax. Hospital and clinic fees in 2025 remain the same as in 2024 to promote access to health by all. It is expected that government grants for drugs and related programs will cover the shortfall as well as contribution from property tax. Your Worship, council rented accommodation will maintain the same tariff as in 2024. Your Worship, public safety and security with a projected expenditure of 43.012 million is expected to generate own revenue of 4.65 million. An emergency services levy of $1 per household will be billed per month. The program shortfall will be subsidized by property tax. Ordinary ambulance fees will be reduced by 15% in year 2025. Your Worship, governance and administration. This is the program where property tax resides and is responsible for offsetting shortfalls incurred by other programs. The program total expenditure is 105.125 million US dollars. The program is expected to generate own revenues amounting to 219.659 million US dollars. The revenue will come mainly from property tax, USD 197.89 million US dollars. Technical services comprising city architect and town planning will yield 19.754 million US dollars and USD 1.51 million respectively. Natural resources and conservation, the program with total expenditure of 1.303 million is expected to generate own revenue amounting to 306.7 thousand, with shortfall being offset by property tax. Your Worship, some of the recommendations listed below were pronounced in the 2024 budget, but were not fully implemented. I therefore propose that these be carried forward to 2025 in addition to the new ones. ERP, Council should bring to finality within the first quarter of 2025 the procurement of a robust ERP system to improve financial management. Decentralization of services. Council should prioritize the capacitation of the decentralization strategy. This will ensure that residents have ease of access to services. The District Support Fund, some choose to call it retention fund. District Support Fund. Council proposes to introduce a District Support Fund to aid decentralization. On the recapitalization, Council should prioritize investment in capital expenditure to enhance capacity to provide quality services to ensure sustainability. On disposal of obsolete assets, Council should dispose all assets that no longer have service potential in order to reduce cost of repairs and replace the assets. Housing and urban development. Council must support affordable housing initiatives to address the housing shortages and ensure that only service stands are allocated. In addition, urban renewal programs must be implemented to revitalize city neighborhoods. On implementation of solar projects, Council should expedite the implementation and operationalization of the solar farm project, which will curb the ever-increasing energy costs, which have become a major cost driver affecting service delivery. On green spaces and urban forestry, Council must invest in urban parks and green spaces to improve air quality and enhance the city's aesthetic appeal. In addition, an intensive tree planting program must be implemented, particularly focusing on the replacement of the old jacaranda trees. Rehabilitation of social amenities. Council must continue the rehabilitation of social amenities for quality services. We propose that residents purchase their own replacement meters from council-accredited suppliers and the cost reimbursed by council through their monthly bills. Council will retain the responsibility of installing the meters. Strengthening project implementation. By prioritizing project implementation, the city can achieve strategic goals, improve operational efficiency, and contribute to sustainable development. Before I close, Your Worship and fellow councillors, allow me to recognize the following. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all our residents and stakeholders for their invaluable contribution to the development of the City of Harare budget for the year 2025. Their insights, expertise, and willingness to participate in the budget process were instrumental in shaping a comprehensive and fiscal responsible budget. Their contributions helped us identify priorities, allocate resources effectively. We believe that the involvement of residents and stakeholders' involvement has strengthened our commitment to transparency, accountability, and community engagement. My fellow councillors, for deliberating on the estimates and giving guidance during the preparations. The town clerk, acting finance director, and his team, heads of departments and their staff who were involved in the preparation of these estimates. Your Worship, the successful implementation of the program spelled out above resources, and these are contributed by residents, industry, commerce, government, and satellite towns when they honor their obligations. If they pay on time, this will help us maintain essential services like water supply, sanitation, waste collection, and street lighting. If all ratepayers honor their obligations, we will be able to fund infrastructure projects. Finally, Your Worship, the budget that is before you is sustainable. Residents contributed and we listened. Council took heed and responded with a budget that aims to enhance service delivery as demonstrated by our theme, the 2025 budget, enhancing service delivery, building a sustainable green future together. I now have the pleasure, Your Worship, fellow councillors, in asking Council to approve the 2025 estimates of expenditure revenues, City of Harare 2025 budget, enhancing service delivery, building a sustainable green future together. I thank you, Tatenda Siabonga. Thank you, Councillor Manyenga.
Done. We can give us the closing prayer. Any volunteer? Okay, thank you.
Amen.